Hello there everyone, this is Mr. Brass. As my previous videos did, I went over my social media for January, and I've decided to make a video where I compile all my responses into a video format. Alright, so today I'll be discussing agency and accountability. We live in an era where everyone wants the benefits of a relationship, but few want to own up to the consequences of their choices. Here are the clips.
Why do 70% of women initiate divorce? What could it be? Maybe women initiate divorces more often because more and more often we're finding guys aren't living their masculine role. Nowadays, guys don't want to open car doors, guys don't want to pay for the meal, guys don't want to be a man, they want to be an equal.
It's called invisible load because it's not something that you would even notice unless someone stopped doing it. It is the child rearing. It is the emotional regulation of the kids. It is keeping the household up and running.
100 years ago, no woman would even look twice at a man who couldn't provide. She wouldn't move in with a man and be responsible for splitting rent. She would only allow herself to be claimed by a masculine provider. That's why men used to spend their youth building themselves, learning skill set, working, earning, saving. That pressure made men step up. It forced them into their masculinity. It made them worthy of leading a woman and a family, because if they didn't, they stayed single and childless. But today, women entertain broke, non-provider men.
Now, let's look at the facts. People like to think that there has been a collapse of the family and that women's filing for divorce is this brand new phenomenon that is caused by modern feminism and societal shifts. However, if you look at the data going all the way back to when we first started looking at it, just about shortly after the Civil War era, you'll see that women always filed for divorce more than men. This isn't new. It's a long-standing pattern of agency. Now, people like talking about the invisible load that women carry. It seems to imply a silent, heroic suffering, but let's be honest, it is the least invisible load in history. Like, we have written records of the work women did going back to as far as written history can go. And even if we go more recently, there have been entire movements with books, movies, TV shows, and the like, which all mention the work that women do that apparently don't get noticed for as far back as 100 years. Although admittedly the term for it is recent, going back to Arlene Kaplan Daniels in the late 1980s, the word, just because the word is new, does not mean the concept is. Given that fact, at what point do we admit that it isn't invisible and rather it is just work that people don't want to do? Now lastly, we have this modern dilemma of leadership. People, ladies in particular, you have to pick a side. You can't demand a traditional man who does the leadership of protecting and providing, but then get upset when he makes a decision you wouldn't have made. If you want him to lead, accept his navigation, and if you want to be the leader, then lead. I'm all for equality either way on that, but pick a side and stick to it. Accountability means realizing that you can't have the authority without the responsibility. You have to choose a lane and own it. That is all for today, so goodbye and get wise.